Welcome to another episode of Music Therapy. I am John Thewin, a mental health therapist, and today we are listening to your song recommendation of Dominoes by REN. If you have any future songs you want me to listen and react to, please throw them in the comments. I respond to all of them, and I look forward to reading yours. Let's get right into Dominoes by REN.
Oh, you built this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Oh, you built this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. You build us up just to knock us back down. Funny how you act surprised when we hit the ground. We're like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. So bleed me of all my self-belief. My smile shows all my insecurity.
I love that.
In a kingdom of photoshopped kings and queens will never feel happy with ourselves, but insecurity sells.
Yes, I love this already. So there is a great saying that Ren just reminded me of, and that is, in a world that profits on your insecurity, loving yourself is a rebellious act. And that is so powerful. If we can love ourselves and if we can defer and postpone our desire to buy the next thing that makes us feel better about our insecurities, then we are winning. Our self-love can conquer a lot of the capitalistic drive that makes us want to consume insatiably.
Dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Oh, you built this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling.
I'm curious, do you think that Ren is talking about here when he says dominoes falling? Is it our culture? Is it our society? Is it our healthcare system? What do you think is causing the ripple effect and the dominoes all cascading upon each other that is bringing us all down? I'm curious how you interpret this.
Build us up just to knock us back down. Funny how you act surprised when we hit the ground. We're like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. I hide my head under the sheets, 'cause how can I face a world that ridicules the weak?
Yes, so he is touching here on how corrupt our culture is, that we make fun of people for having disabilities, that we are, chronically looking at people as what they can offer us instead of their inherent value as a person. We live in these hyper-transactionalized relationships, which means that I'm looking for ways that people can benefit me, and that is inherently selfish, and it is so wrong to ridicule the weak, because how do you judge weakness? How do you judge strength? It's all pretty subjective, and there's no way to accurately measure the strength of a person's character or their values or their integrity. And that's what I love, is he said, like in the very beginning of the song, he said that degrade my self-beliefs, right? And he is a strong-willed person in this world, and he feels like that he has been over and over degraded by society to the point where his beliefs of thinking that, say, the poor deserve to be treated well and that people all deserve to be treated equally is being beaten down and degraded. And he's showing how his beliefs are changing in this world that is making him worse off and is changing him for the worse.
Where beauty is sold on the shelves, forbid that we find it in ourselves.
Yes.
And now I'm broke, it don't come cheap. Oh, you built this like
Yes, so powerful. Let's go back and listen to that one more time. It's so horrifying to think of all the plastic surgeries and the medical procedures that can be done to completely change your jawline and your skin tone and all of these medical advancements that we have subjectively judged our beauty by, to say, hey, you need to have high cheekbones like Ren does in order to be handsome or beautiful. And it's like, no, I think, like he said, we all have beauty and we all need to find it in ourselves, because whether that's being kind to people or showing up for people in hard times. We all have inherent beauty because we're living and human.
Selves in, and now I'm broke, it don't come cheap.
Oh, you built this like
Dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling.
Yeah.
Oh, you built this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. You build us up just to knock us back down. Funny how you act surprised when we hit the ground. We're like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling.
What a light-hearted, gentle beat, but such serious content that he is discussing. He's discussing how our culture profits from our insecurities, and it strips us of any internal beauty that we feel, and they're then surprised that we're falling to the ground because of their measures that they're using to profit from us. And it's such a beautiful song, but it's also quite sobering and somber to think about how our relationships are so dependent on transactions and what we do for people, and this culture we live in being so superficial.
Aria was the most beautiful girl in this world. She shined like diamonds and rubies and pearls. But then, as soon as she turned 13, she forgot just how bright that it was that she gleamed. Stuck in the material world of magazines that glamorized fake and Photoshop beauty queens. Top 10 beauty tips making her feel inadequate. For the first time in her life she felt ugly. So Aria stopped eating to lose weight. She spent her dinner money on some makeup for her face. But no matter how much she lost or how much she bought, she was never good enough, or so she thought.
Yeah, so he is touching on how these unrealistic beauty standards can really warp the minds of young people, young girls in particular, to the point where they develop eating disorders. Like Aria isn't eating regularly because of these unrealistic beauty fashion models that are ultra skinny, ultra tan, ultra unrealistic for the average person to meet, because they're pushing a product that's their body, and their body is unattainable by 99.9% of people, because we all have different bodies, different genetic predispositions, different environmental factors that lead it to be virtually impossible. And we know now how media can absolutely lead to worsening mental health, unrealistic body images. Snapchat has something called Snapchat dysmorphia, which is young people in particular having these filters on their face and thinking that they want to look more like a cartoon, because that's what the Snapchat filters do, is they make your face look more cartoonish. And then as a consequence of that, young females, young people are getting plastic surgeries to become more cartoonish and have these really big eyes with these big cheeks and these wide smiles. And it's so unreasonable and horrific to think that we think that our bodies as they are ugly because of this unrealistic standard that Ren is touching on here.
Aria felt she could never be loved. She started cutting her wrists and hiding her scars with gloves. At 16, an anorexic beauty queen, she collapses in a puddle of her tears and blood, cause she never felt enough. She never felt enough. Your sellers all this lie that we must buy to keep in touch.
Yeah, so he is so brilliant in telling this story of Aria here, and she doesn't feel like she's in control in her life because of she's not able to look like these fashion models. And in a way, in effort to regain control of her life, she cuts her wrist because it grounds her and it makes her feel like she's in control for once. And this is what I see with people who self-harm. They're usually trying to compensate and regain control in a situation that they don't feel like they're in control of in their life. And in Aria's case, it's looking like a 10 out of 10 Sports Illustrated model, and that's so unrealistic.
16, an anorexic beauty queen, she collapses in a puddle of her tears and blood, cause she never felt enough. She never felt enough. Your sellers all this lie that we must buy to keep in touch. We can never buy enough. Never buy enough. All the riches in the world can't buy a sense of self.
Yes, absolutely, Ren. So the idea that this culture is insatiable, that no amount of product, no amount of food or beauty products or the biggest house in the world will ever be enough. They will always want you to keep going to the point where you're starved for something else. And no matter how rich you are, it can't buy love, it can't buy purpose, it can't buy passion. And that's what he's touching on, is self-love is so much more important than trying to fit into the mold of society, because we are all unique people who have physical and mentally distinct characteristics, and we need to honor that. We need to honor ourselves and not try to be a mold and dishonor ourselves in the process.
Love, funny how you act surprised when depression's levels rise, when you force feed inadequacy straight into our eyes. Television shows that praise the beautiful people, and talent competitions that just laugh at the feeble.
Wow, the way he said laugh there, you could just tell he is pissed off. He is exasperated by how we are, as a culture, treating people with disabilities in a negative light. And back to this line right here, is when you force feed inadequacy straight into our eyes. Such a brilliant line. We live in a world that rewards mediocrity, and doing anything exceptionally is an act of self-love, I believe. So whatever you do for a job or a passion or a hobby, do it excellently, and you will absolutely be detesting the mediocrity of society. Let's listen to that one more time here.
By a sense of self-love, funny how you act surprised when depression's levels rise, when you force feed inadequacy straight into our eyes. Television shows that praise the beautiful people, and talent competitions that just laugh at the feeble. Billboards, magazines, people turn to plasticine, molded like a factory. We're growing up to fear, feeling ugly, it's lunacy. And
wow, I don't even know where to start there. He is so brilliant. Let's go back and listen to that again. You could spend all day on one of these lines.
It's magazines, people turn to plasticine, molded like a factory. We're growing up to fear, feeling ugly, it's lunacy. And life in the community is insecurity, breeds judgment, judgment breeds hate, no unity.
Yes, absolutely, Ren. So insecurity breeds judgment, and judgment can breed hate. Absolutely. We cannot judge other people by anything. The only thing we can do is judge ourselves and try to give ourselves grace for some of our imperfections, because we are human, we are flawed, and we're imperfect. And yes, hierarchy is based on aesthetics. Look at our culture. All the celebrities in Hollywood are all Brad Pitts and Angelina Jolies. There's no average looking people there. They take the top 1% of the best looking people and plaster them all over the internet to make us feel like we're inadequate, that we're not handsome or beautiful enough. And that drives profits, that drives business, to sell us products we don't need.
Hierarchy based upon aesthetics is what makes a kid in school get bullied for genetics. Yep. And I felt so ugly growing up. The way that I look sometimes got me beaten up.
Which is so crazy, because Ren is such a handsome young man. He looks like, in my opinion, a spitting image of Cillian Murphy. And Cillian, his cheekbones, his jawline, his hair, such a great looking guy.
I mean, what the fuck sort of culture do we live in when we're defined by the shape of our face, when we're ashamed by the size of our waist, when we're imprisoned by the form that we take? And so we keep buying and spending. That's just how this story goes. You build us up just to knock us back down, and we just keep...
Wow, so that's what he's talking about. He's talking about our society making us feel inferior to each other, and such a brilliant way of weaving the Dominoes message into such a real message, and weaving in the story of that girl who suffered from anorexia, self-harm, and then tying it all together at the end. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, we're all so superficial, right? We judge by the shape of our face, the size of our waist. It's not relevant. We need to think about internally our belief systems, like Ren said at the beginning of the song, and think about what gives us purpose and passion, and then align our values with that and our behaviors with that.
Our waste when we're imprisoned by the form that we take. And so we keep buying and spending. That's just how this story goes. You build us up just to knock us back down, and we just keep falling like dominoes.
Wow. Yeah, so Ren is really speaking on how the capitalistic market profits from our insecurity, and it acts surprised when we're down. Why are you depressed? Is it because we're peddling all of these unrealistic body images? Is it because social media will make you more insatiable and want more connections and facade as connections, and make you feel more cold, more isolated, more in a bubble than ever before? Such profound points that Ren makes, and really so much food for thought. If you have any other interpretations of this video, I would absolutely love to hear it. And if you have any future song recommendations, please throw them in the comments. I will get to them as soon as I can. And this Renegade's journey has been incredible. I love Ren so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next music therapy episode.